thank you for clicking in today on the East Texas Baptist University website and the ETBU Sportsnet. Hello, I'm Mike Smith, along with Jason Souls, and we're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas for ETBU Extra. For the next hour, we're going to talk ETBU football, ETBU men's and women's basketball. We're going to talk about events happening on campus with student affairs from the Office of Student Affairs at East Texas Baptist University. Football season, of course, is winding down. In just a minute, we're going to talk to the head coach of the Tigers, Joshua Eargle, and Alex Shetter, one of the offensive linemen for the Tigers, who want to join us as well. And we'll have the results of our fan poll this week as well. You were asked during the week on Facebook and the ETBU website to vote on your favorite record-setting event held by an ETBU football player, and up for the running was Tyler Bates, the wide receiver, quarterback Josh Warmington, and other wide receiver Stephen Alfred, and we'll reveal that vote in a moment, who won the vote this week by you, the fans. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. Each Wednesday, we're here from noon to 1 p.m. on the ETBU Sportsnet. Come down to CC's Pizza during the show, and you can have your buffet for $5, including a drink. And, of course, as always, my broadcast partner on home football games is Jason Souls. And, Jason, how are you doing today on this cold day in East Texas?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to be here and glad to talk a little bit of ETBU football with Coach Eargle.
Let's do that right now. Coach Joshua Eargle, the head football coach of ETBU. Of course, last week in Abilene, Texas, the Tigers lose to Hardin-Simmons 35-19. And, Coach, it just wasn't a day that went well for the Tigers as you lost your fifth game of the year, 4-5 on the record, 4-5 on the year.
Yeah, we never.
Hold on, let me turn your microphone on. There we go.
We never really gave ourselves a chance for victory this week. We got off to a slow start. I thought defense came out and did some good things and got some 3-and-outs, some fourth down stops when they were driving down there really close, and really they kind of bowed up and really put the wall up and didn't let them get any points, which was really crucial on some fourth downs. They went for it. Instead of kicking field goals, but offensively we just we shot ourselves in the foot. We get down there and we never got in the end zone, and that never really gave us an opportunity to get our offense kind of rolling the first half, and so we're behind them 14 points or 7 points at the half, and or 14-0 at half, and then we come out in the second half and start scoring some points, but we just can't ever. We got down the red zone. We were 2 of 6 in the red zone. You just can't be that to be successful on Saturday.
It's kind of a strange afternoon. It was a team that I haven't seen on the field all year this year. Adam Ledyard, the sports information director at East Texas Baptist University, shared with me that all the years that ETBU has played Hardin-Simmons, ETBU has never scored more than 26 points. And I was telling Jason last week, we're going to break that this week. But it just did not happen. Things just did not click out there in West Texas that day.
It just didn't. We moved the ball well. We just didn't get in the end zone. We get down there close. And 2 of 6 in the red zone. If those are touchdowns, that's another 28 points alone right there. 28 plus 19, that's well more than that record. So it just had everything to do with the way we executed, and we didn't get it done in the red zone.
Before we talk about this week's game, it's the last game of the season as the Tigers face University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. Coach, kind of highlight some players that you'd like to highlight each week on the scout team and things that got you prepared last week.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a great group of freshmen that have been getting us ready to go every week, and they've done a phenomenal job. They're doing a great job this week for us. But last week, getting us ready for that game, Zach Griffin on a linebacker for us, helped our offense get ready. Delonzo Freeman did a really good job of doing the run game for us and getting us ready to stop that run. They have 2 backs that are really good, one especially, and we saw both those Saturday, and we're able to stop the run just because of the good look we get from Delonzo. And Delonzo's going to be a great back for us. I can't wait to turn him loose next year on some people. He's gotten some kickoff returns this year, but really hadn't gotten the backfield a lot. Then Malik Gaffney, young man from Wolf City, right here from Northeast Texas, did a really good job for us on special teams.
All right, Coach. Jason, you have a question for Coach about last week's ball game against Hardin-Simmons.
Yeah, Coach, we talked about execution. You talked about execution and in the red zone. What are things you guys are doing to kind of improve that, get down, inside, inside the one, on that fourth down, really kind of a big momentum swing there. And, of course, they capped it off with the long drive after that.
Well, we've had really good confidence in our offensive line all year. We're led by 4 seniors up front. We have one of them here today. They do a phenomenal job of blocking and protecting the quarterback each and every week. If you put us in those situations again and we're playing that same team, the same situation, we're going to call the same play because we just believe that they're going to get it done. For whatever reason, a mishap here or an eye placement, small technique adjustments here, we just didn't get it in the end zone. We tried to run it and we tried to throw, we just didn't connect. And that like Mike said, that's not normal for us. We've been doing a really good job of doing that all year, and it wasn't abnormal a year for us. Hats off to Hardin-Simmons for doing a great job in the red zone against us, and we expect those guys to execute better. They've shown the ability to be able to do that, and so we expect them to do that this week.
Go and talk also about Hardin Simmons. We knew they were going to run the ball. They did a pretty good job of it. We also did a pretty good job handling them and keeping those to minimum gains. We'll see a little bit of the same thing this week. Is there any similarities from last week to this week on what we'll see defensively?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would like to. I mean, I thought we played pretty. This young group has gotten better and better every week, and they've kind of solidified kind of their roles a little bit. And they kind of got comfortable with the scheme, and every rep they're getting better. Towards the end of the year, as we've gotten in conference, you start seeing 3 and outs, you start seeing 4th down stops, you start seeing red zone stops, you start seeing a lot of turnovers, and that's something that we're really proud of those guys for growing up. We expect them to play no matter what their age is, play at a high level, and they've been getting better each and every week, and they've done especially well the past 3 or 4 weeks here in conference. Which is really, really encouraging to me as a head coach, and I'm excited about those young guys coming back and continue to improve this offseason and into next year. But, we just when you're playing a similar team, just like they were, these two opponents are it's good to have them back-to-back. They're really, really similar in what they do and the nature of the type of offense they run. It'll be just like last week. We've got to be able to stop the run and handle that running game first before anything. But watching film, they're a little different this year. They got a new offensive coordinator. Coach Fred's son is now the offensive coordinator there, and with his background and past experience, he's kind of a little more wide open, a little more spread. And so the Tiger fans, when you come this weekend, you'll actually see 2 offenses that look a little bit more similar than they have in the past when we played Mary Hardin-Baylor.
Well, Coach, in the loss to Hardin Simmons, you had some players going into the ball game that needed some touchdowns and needed some yards to break some school records, and it did happen. Receiver Tyler Bates, 12 receptions, 172 yards, and a touchdown, which gave him his 21st touchdown in his career, which is a new Tiger record. And Stephen Alford continues to make catches. He went in the ball game, and he ended up with 1,132 yards so far receiving, which is a new record, which breaks Jermaine Sherman from last year, which I thought would stay a while. But records are be broken. Kind of talk about their performances on your offense that day against Hardin Simmons.
Well, we're really excited about those guys, and those individual awards are really good for those guys. It's kind of feather in their hat, but they're worthy of those. They earned every one of those yards or one of those touchdowns. The nature of our offense and the way we can quickly score and how fast we score, and just trying to snap the ball so fast. And when you put great athletes like those 2 young men you mentioned, with Tyler Bates being a junior, might be the best. He's got to be the best receiver to ever play here, at least career-wise. Stephen Alford, in a single season, his stats say that he's the best to ever play here in one season with his touchdowns and his yards. He's still got a game to go. Those are 2 big weapons we have. But you also got Roy Butler. Roy Butler's had a heck of a year too. And man, if those other 2 guys, weren't on our team, you'd be talking about Roy Butler because he's had a phenomenal year. You catch the ball in the slot just like Tyler Bates does some really good things. He's tough to get your hands on. A local product out of LE. So we're excited that for the season he's had as a senior with us. And then you got R.J. Hester and Roy Dembo and R.J. Hester that trade out that other outside receiver spot, and they've done really good things this year. They're very, very talented themselves. Just like week 1, I mean, when I talked about how talented that receiver core is, those guys have just gone out and proved it. Just like every week I say, the offensive line has been the ones that allow us to be able to put yards up because of their protection and their run blocking. You got a phenomenal quarterback that's played extremely high level. He's gone from a manager of a game to making big time plays, and it always helps when you got great athletes around you. But that's part of the nature of this offense. We'll continue to recruit unbelievable talent like that, the skill positions. We'll continue to get bigger and bigger on the offensive line and try to grow those guys up. We won't have 4 seniors like we did last year. Like we do this year. But we'll continue to reload in the offense, and that system is a great system, and it's going to put up yards. Tyler Bates is 2 yards away from being a 1,000-yard receiver. Well, 2 years ago when I walked in here, there was none, and he's fixing to be the 3rd in 2 years. So we're really excited about what those guys are getting done.
Well, you mentioned Tyler Bates. He's on our show last week on ETBU Extra. 2 yards shy of 1,000 yards. To have 2 receivers on your squad to get over 1,000 yards, and we expect Tyler to get that Saturday against Mary Hardin. That is really unusual in the game of football at this level.
It is, and it just speaks to them again, how good they are. Mike, you also got to put in there, and we haven't had, like last year, Toy Glover was able to reach the 1,000-yard mark as a single running back, but our backfield's been so loaded up this year that if you look at the yards, I haven't looked at it, but it's 1,500, 1,600 yards rushing out of 3 guys. I mean, That's pretty potent itself. So when you play the Tigers offense, you better be balanced, and you better have everything covered, and it allows for those guys to be put in space with great athletic ability, which is allowing them to be successful because you can't double anybody.
Well, we talk about the offensive line. I want to move to the defense side of the ball in the game against Hardin Simmons. We mentioned this name a lot this year, Desmond Oliver, a freshman from Denton Ryan High School. 2 sacks in the ball game and 5 tackles. When he gets out on the field, he's just like they used to call Randy White the manster back in the Dallas Cowboy days. He's not that type of player, isn't he?
That's going back a while, Mike.
That is going back a while.
No, Randy White was good, and I believe Desmond Oliver is too, and he's got 6 sacks on the year, several tackles for a loss. Has been a great surprise for us on the inside. We were excited about him coming in just because of his size and his quickness. But he has progressively gotten better and better the more reps he's gotten each and every week. But we roll a lot of defensive tackles in there, and they've all done a really good job this year. We're so much better on the defensive line. Coach Churchman's done a phenomenal job of those defensive tackles this year. You got Xavier Davis has got several sacks in there and tackle for a loss. You got Scott Majallet, we call Mojo. You got Kyle Rebector. Brandon Pyle's a senior for us in there. Corey Hunter's a senior in there for us. Man, when you can roll 6 guys like that, and it's just been a big help for us in the middle of stopping these runs and being able to play better run defense this year. So we're excited about all those guys in there.
Hey, Coach, talk a little bit else about that with the offensive line, the strong core of older guys. How does that make those young guys better, seeing that experienced, quality offensive line every day in practice?
Yeah, well, we're trying to build something special with Tiger football. We've got a phenomenal university. I believe ETBU is the best university on the planet. And we want to recruit young men that can build a football program, not a football team, that will be representative of that university and will represent them exactly the way they want to be represented. And in order to do that, you've got to have great senior leadership because they've got to show the juniors and the sophomores and the freshmen, hey, this is how you act when you get on the field for the Tigers. This is how we want you to represent us. You represent us not when you're just on the field, but when you're outside the lines and you're in the classroom and you're around Marshall or East Texas. You're gonna have that Tiger shield on your chest, and we want you to represent us in the right way. And so to have a great core of seniors this year that have done an unbelievable job of just displaying what it really means to be a Tiger has been outstanding. And I couldn't be more proud of these group of 20 guys we're going to recognize on Saturday for Senior Day and what they've meant to this program. It may not show up in wins in the way they want it, but everything we do in the future is predicated on what they've done this year. And there's a lot of games in those 5 losses we had this year that could have gone our way. And you can mold those games down to about 2 or 3 plays. And if the Tigers make those plays, then we've all got huge grins on our face right now talking about this game this weekend. And we're going to get there. We came here to build a football program and not invest in 1 year and then go all in on 1 year. We're here to build it and build something that will last. And this group of seniors has allowed us to do that. We've got a great group of young guys that are hungry to get on the field and get more reps when those seniors step out. That'll be here next year, and we're going to get out this spring and continue to recruit what we've been recruiting this fall, and try to bring in the next generation of Tigers that want to be men of character and want to graduate from a private school in East Texas and want to win championships.
You're listening to ETBU Extra on the ETBU Sportsnet live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. We're here each Wednesday from noon to 1, where you can get the buffet including a drink for just $5. Visiting with Joshua Eargle, Tiger football coach. And Coach, let's move to this Saturday's game. Last game on the schedule, home game at Ornelas, 1 p.m. kickoff against the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. And if you follow NCAA Division III football, American Southwest Conference, this is one of the best teams in the nation coming into Ornelas. How do you prepare for that?
Well, we're going to prepare like we prepare for anybody every week. Sundays we have meetings wrapping up last game, and Monday we have walkthroughs, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we have good Friday, and Saturday we have some walkthroughs, and we'll show up 2 hours before the game, get taped up, and get ready to go. But it's exciting for the fans that when you bring somebody in that the AFCA or NCAA has put a number in front of their name, and that's exciting. And these young men are excited about Senior Day, and I can't wait to honor these 20 seniors and let them pour it out in front of our fans one last time. It'll be a big challenge, just like every Saturday is in this conference. I've said that from the beginning, too. This conference is the best Division III conference in America, and I'll put it up against anybody from top to bottom. It's phenomenal football. And when you show up Saturday and you watch, you understand. Because the closer you get to that field, you understand how fast that football game is moving, how fast those individuals are playing, and what a high level they're playing at. And it'll just be a great opportunity for us to get out there 4 hours before kickoff, with Tiger Alley. Tiger walks 2 hours before kickoff, which will be at 11 o'clock this week. Last time we had an earlier game was at 2, and it was tough getting everybody out of bed. So this one's at 1. So we need to just cook breakfast out there in Tiger Alley. We need to get everybody excited about it and get there early and support these young men and these seniors.
Well, Coach, I've been telling folks, upset in the making Saturday at Ornelas. Oh, no, Mary Hardenberger's got it. But no, I've seen your offense this year and your defense, and when things click, nobody can stop you. And so we're looking to a contest Saturday that if you like football, you need to come out and watch the Tigers play against Mary Hardenberger. Jason, you have a question for Coach Eargle?
Yeah, Coach, we've chased that elusive complete game just about all season, and Saturday would be the perfect time for that game.
Okay.
I know that's not lost on you, but the opportunity to go 5-5 on the year, be a big improvement from last year, a chance to knock off a ranked team. Talk about what that would mean from a program standpoint. You talked about recruiting. You talk about a big signature win, a chance to go 5-5. There's a lot at stake here Saturday.
Well, I'm excited about these guys and what they've done, and the wherever they've taken our program this year, cannot be replaced. And what a reward it would be for them to end the season at 5-5 and be 500 and get them above that losing season record. That would be awesome. And but what they've done and what they've accomplished and what they're leaving behind, the legacy these guys are leaving behind Saturday, is not wrapped up in a record. And it can't be summed up. I put 2 numbers with a dash in between it. It's blood, sweat, and tears, and it's legacy left at the university, and they represent it in a Christ-like manner, and in a great manner. And it's one they're all graduating from. And that's one of most things I'm proud of is that when you ask them their graduation date, they know it, and it's really quick, and that's exciting. And so that's progress towards where we wanted to be, and that's accomplishing that goal number 2 of our program, of graduating all of our players. And so I'm just excited about where we're going this weekend and what they get to do. They get to pour that out one last time, and just would encourage everybody to come out and just support those guys, those young men. They deserve it. They've earned it.
I ask this question every week, Jason. As a fan sitting in the stands Saturday at Ornelas, if we see things happening on the field, we know things are going right for the Tigers. What do you hope to see going right Saturday against Mary Harden-Baylor?
You bet. Well, the thing we've got to correct from last week is we've got to be able to score in the red zone, and we're going to have those same opportunities. And going into last week, we've done a great job in that. Last week we didn't get it done, so we've got to flip that again. We've got to be able to score down there when we get down there close. And a lot of that comes on our offense being effective and efficient, but our run game's got to show up. And, it's really come around. If Stephen Alford and Tyler Bates are having big days, then our offense is having a big day. So if the ball's getting in their hands, then everything else is going to work, because it opens up the run game. It opens up Roy Butler. It opens up R.J. Hester and Roy Dembo. It opens everything up. And so we've got to get those 2 guys the ball early. And so if they're getting a lot of catches early in the first quarter, second quarter, then I'd say the Tigers are on track offensively. And then defensively, we've got to get 3 and outs, and we've been able to do that and get that ball back to the offense more and more as the year's gone on. And we really need to stand up in the first half and keep that a low-scoring game in the first half.
All right, we've been with Coach Josh Eargle, the head football coach of East Texas Baptist University. Coach Eargle, thank you for your time today on ETBU Extra. We're going to let you get out of the chair. We're going to bring in Alex Shetter, one of the offensive linemen from this year's team. We'll talk to Alex. He's from Crane, Texas. So we come back on ETBU Extra on the ETBU Sportsnet. We're visiting with Tiger Alex Shelter. We're live from CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas. And you're listening to ETBU Extra.
Gateway Tire and Service Center in Marshall